Hi guys, welcome back to Slow and Steady with Andi. I'm Andi, and today I'm going to be sharing with you what I eat on a typical day as someone who is on a GLP-1 medication, not just for weight loss, but for type 2 diabetes. So I am not on any type of crazy diet. I am just learning to eat better to help balance my blood sugar and also make better food choices long term to heal my metabolism. So let's jump right in. Breakfast first.
Lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago, but all will be okay. I move on each and every day.
So for one of my routine breakfasts, I'm just heating a pan over medium heat and spraying it with a little bit of avocado oil cooking spray. I'm going to do about 2 cups of fresh spinach, measured with my hands, of course. I've done this so many times, I'm pretty confident that that is 2 cups of spinach. Now I'm just going to add some Himalayan salts for a little more flavor and let this wilt down as I cover it and run to my desk to put in a little bit more work while this is cooking. And now that it's nice and sauteed, I'm going to add a little more flavor. And my favorite flavors to add to sauteed spinach are garlic. Actually, it's granulated garlic. I don't use garlic salt. I like doing granulated garlic. And then some red pepper flakes because I really like it a little bit spicy in there. I'm just going to stir it all together, and then I'm going to move it off onto a plate so we can start making the scrambled eggs. And now to make my scrambled eggs, I like to put a very little bit of butter in there just to make sure it doesn't stick, even though it's a non-stick pan. So this is the Aldi version of the Kerrygold butter. And the serving size on the package is like a tablespoon, which I think is 100 calories. But I use about a teaspoon, maybe even less. It's just to make sure the eggs don't stick. And I'm going to do one egg, one whole egg. And then to that one whole egg, I'm going to add a half a cup of egg whites. This is my favorite way to do eggs. I like having a whole egg in there because there's a lot of nutrients in the yolk, but it can add up in calories if you're using like 2 or 3 whole eggs. So I do it this way. So I bump up the protein really high and don't get all the calories or the fat. And then I'm making one piece of toast. This is my favorite bread. It's the brownberry whole grain seed bread. And the serving size on that is 2, but I really can only, one is pretty filling to me. And a little bit of shredded cheese. I measured it out before, like my little sprinkles, and it's about an eighth of a cup. And I just like to make sure that my eggs just have a nice creaminess and they're tasty. All in all, this whole breakfast works out to be about 331 calories, according to MyFitnessPal. And there we go. That is my breakfast. And I do have this breakfast about 2 or 3 days out of the week. So for lunch, I'm going to take it pretty easy so I don't have to take much time. I have a rotisserie chicken from Sam's. So I measured out, I think it was 2 ounces of the chicken. And then I'm doing a serving size of these almonds is 2 ounces, but I'm doing 1 ounce. And these are my favorite. These white cheddar, blue diamond. I get these at Sam's Club. Um, Last year around this time, they had ranch flavored ones, and they were so good. If they come back out with those again, I'm gonna get like 5 packages. And I also am doing a small apple that's a Honeycrisp apple, and then a Baby Bell cheese. And for a snack, I'm just going to do something really easy. As you can tell, I like things pretty easy. So I'm going to do 2 tablespoons of this peanut butter. And then I got these Fit and Active caramel rice cakes from Aldi. And the serving size says 16 of them. And I just feel like that's a lot. So I decided to go with 6 of them, and basically I just dip them into the peanut butter, and it makes a really easy, delicious, really healthy snack. And I'm sorry, you guys, something happened to my recording of this, but what I'm about to put in my air fryer is Tyson grilled sweet teriyaki chicken thighs that I get from Sam's Club, and I will pop up the picture of the package right here. So now I'm going to show you how I make what I think is a pretty good dupe of Red Robin's garlic parmesan broccoli. If you ever go to Red Robin, they give bottomless sides. Most people get French fries, but I have found that I really love getting bottomless garlic parmesan broccoli. So I wanted to learn how to make that at home. And so I use some of my Aldi Irish butter in the pan. It's a good 1 to 2 tablespoons worth. And I'm adding this minced garlic, and I'm just going to let it saute up just like that for a little bit until I notice the garlic starting to get browned. And I know, a little bit of garlic, not around here. We love garlic, so I use a lot. I know, a lot. And now I already microwave steamed this bag of broccoli here, and I let the water drain out of the bottom of the bag. And I'm just going to add that right in now to the garlic butter and make sure everything's nice and coated. And when I do my broccoli in the microwave, and I know I'm going to put it in a pan to continue cooking, I don't put it in the microwave as long as the I don't put it in the microwave for as long as the directions show, because I don't like my broccoli to get like too wilty. I like a little crunch left in it. And then I'm just going to sprinkle some of this Romano Parmesan, or if I would have just had regular Parmesan, whatever type of Parmesan you have, you can sprinkle it right in there. And this is such a good side. I love it so much. And basically just moving it around, make sure it's nice and coated. And this is my dinner for tonight. So everything I just showed you came out to be around 1,500 calories, actually a little bit over 1,500 calories, and that was using my Fitness Pal. I don't on a daily basis count calories for everything I'm eating. Truth be told, I am very much a creature of habit when it comes to eating. So once I have for example, the eggs that I showed you, that breakfast with the eggs and the spinach, I will probably have that 3 times a week. And maybe the other days, there are 2 other types of breakfast that I tend to go to. So I basically have 3 rotating meals that I use for breakfast. My lunch is pretty much the same. There's like maybe 2 or 3 things that I alternate between for that. And dinner, yeah, about the same, unless we're going to go out to eat, which we don't. hardly go out for food anymore at all because the budget girl in me just can't stand going to a drive-through or anywhere and paying the amount that we're paying these days when I know I can go to the grocery store and get like probably a week's worth of groceries for what I paid for in one drive-through. And I don't crave drive-through anyways. I really am somebody who craves like real food. So I mean that works out for me. But sometimes we do like to go to a nicer restaurant to have dinner. Um, so in working, in working with my dietitian, basically once they told me that I was type 2 diabetic, we started looking at things from a type 2 diabetes standpoint. So, with my dietitian, I'm basically working on following, it's not really a diet, but I'll show you exactly what I she gave me. It's called a diabetic plate. And basically you're just following the guidelines. And basically this is what I want my plate to look like. Sometimes it doesn't look exactly like that. Like the dinner I showed you, I didn't have a starch there, and I really should have. So usually when I do make the teriyaki chicken and broccoli, I also include it's a 90-second instant type of rice package I get from Aldi. Um, you can get it really at any store, and basically you throw it in the microwave for 90 seconds. And the one that I like is it's brown rice and quinoa. It is so good. I love quinoa. um, so usually I'll pair that with that type of meal, or I'll do some potato or things like that. Now, as somebody who was on keto for many years, the idea of eating rice and potatoes and apples seemed very like at first it was like really hard to wrap my mind around it because so many, excuse me, so many, not MDs, so many doctorate degree doctors on social media have really taught us that carbs are the enemy. So, like, apples are the enemy, brown rice is the enemy, whole grains are the enemy, potatoes are the enemy because carbs are the enemy. And okay, before I say anything else, disclaimer, I am not a doctor. I am not a healthcare professional. I am not a dietitian. I am just somebody who has struggled with my weight for most of my life. I have followed fad diets, trend diets, trying to search for that magic, food plan. And keto did work for a short while. And I'm going to tell you, it worked because basically my body was starving. Keto works because when you eliminate carbs, you throw your body into basically a starvation mode type of, you throw your body into a starvation mode way of processing your food. While in thought, it sounds good over the long term, it is not good. And back when I started keto, like in 2018, my doctor was really, really against that. And she explained to me many reasons why she was against that. She didn't push me, she didn't demean me, but I wish I would have listened to her. I wish I would have listened to my MD doctor and not the doctorate degree doctors. I said what I said. So yes, I am healing not only my metabolism, I'm healing my mind and how I've been really kind of taught to look at food over the past 5, 6, 7 years. And I tell you what, I'm enjoying eating apples again. I'm enjoying eating potatoes again, and it is not it's not the enemy. Um, of course, I'm not telling anybody what to do or not to do. We are all on our own health journey. We all, like most of us, I think, put in research to what we want to move forward and try or not try. And, I can't fault anybody for that. It's just for me, in my experience, keto destroyed my metabolism, and keto threw me into being a full fledged type 2 diabetic. It did. Um, I am type 2 diabetic. It's genetic, and even though Mounjaro has brought me into lower A1C levels like pre-diabetic, I'm still diabetic. I'm just a type 2 diabetic who has controlled diabetes going on. So anyways, back to this diabetic plate here. So this sheet here, you can search for it. I did make sure what I'm about to tell you is correct. And I Googled diabetes nutrition placemat, and I was able to find pretty much the exact same sheets, just not on this blue background. And on the back of the sheet, there's also information that gives like guidelines in each category. And so this is basically what I'm learning to balance how I eat off of is the diabetic placemat. And I think it's working really well for me. I do suggest that anyone who is starting a health journey to check out an app like MyFitnessPal. There's a free version you can use, and I think it is very helpful in the beginning stages, just so you really have an awareness of how many calories you're getting in. Um, when I went to meet with my dietitian most recently, I asked her what should my calorie limit be a day, and she gave me this look like I was like, "What do I'm like 1,500?" And she gave me this look like, we don't want to, we're not going to talk about a calorie count. And that was also like very foreign to me. I did tell her, I said, okay, well, I'm kind of estimating that, 1,600 calories a day for me. And she's like, yeah, you can do that. She's like, what I really want you to focus on is the protein. I want you to have 30 grams of protein with each major meal a day. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And you can have, a snack in between breakfast and lunch and a snack in between lunch and dinner. And being on GLP-1, I'm sure some of you who are on it will identify with it's hard sometimes just to get 3 meals in a day, let alone think about loading in some snacks. But I really do push to I really do have protein as the higher goal, and along with protein I have fiber in there, so that's why a lot of times my meals have the protein. And I love broccoli. My hubby loves broccoli too, so really that is probably the vegetable I eat with most of my dinner, sometimes lunches. But I definitely try to still pair fiber in there, and I do get carbs in there because I am finding that now that I've brought carbs back in, I have more energy. I am also learning that I'm not eating enough carbs per day. My dietitian has me with a goal from 100 to 150 a day. I know it's crazy. I'm also going to share a link with another YouTube channel that I found. A lot of what she discusses mirrors what my dietitian has told me. So I have been following her like daily on YouTube. She doesn't really gear towards GLP-1. She's more of somebody who's giving information to women who are perimenopause, menopausal, and she is a dietitian. And just the information is really, really interesting. And I am, what she says really, it makes so much sense. I really relate to so much of what she says, and it's very eye opening. So I will share her channel up above. So that is basically what I wanted to share with you today. I just really wanted to share what I eat in a day, and I did want to bring up again the diabetic placemat and just answer that question that I'm not on any type of specific diet. I do want to throw in there that I do consistently get exercise every day. I will have another video or videos upcoming sharing some of the things I do for fitness. I do have on my Apple Watch a daily goal of 8,000 steps. So between just around the house, cleaning, walking around, and my treadmill, I do get the 8,000 steps a day. I really do want to bump up what I'm doing for building muscle. Primarily, I've been doing things for upper body. Eventually, I really would love to go to a gym, but you guys, I have like such social anxiety. Real talk here. This is a problem of mine. I just have a hard time going places by myself. And I know this stems back to some far planted root of my childhood, and I need to be over it because I'm 50, but it's the truth. And the idea of going to a gym by myself is terrifying, but we're working on it. We are working on getting over that fear because I know it's really important, especially as I am perimenopause going into menopause, to make sure that I'm building muscle. I know that in the last year I have lost a lot of muscle, and I have always, even being overweight, I have always had very muscular legs, like big calves because they're muscular, and my thighs, the back of my thighs have never been like very, I guess, fatty. They've always been very muscular part of my body. I pretty much hold most of my weight around my abdomen, which makes sense because I'm type 2 diabetic. I'm insulin resistant. But it is really important as we get older to maintain our muscle mass and our strength. So I am like, I'm trying to get there, you guys. I am. If you're on a GLP-1 medication, unlike Mounjaro, or you're just trying to find a healthy balance with food, remember it isn't about perfection. It's about progress. We're going slow and steady together. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, of course, and definitely share your own health journey in the comments below. Until next time, my friends, slow and steady. Bye.
I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time in a long time, I'm alright. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot.